This is The Post Up with DJ Trice. I'm running my mouth on everything hot in sports, news, drama, and whatever is blowing up the timeline. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of The Post Up. You already know me. I go by the name of DJ Trice, and I'm always posted up right here running my mouth about sports, y'all. Welcome back to the show. It was my birthday this past weekend, and I was over at the Raiders game, as you can see from this wonderful new Raider Nation cap that I have on. On today's episode, I'll be talking about the WNBA Finals. I'll be talking about how Cathy Englebert, the WNBA commissioner, is in a whole lot of hot water. But I want to start with a Raiders update because it specifically relates to my birthday. So let's just do a dump of where I've been. I'm usually on the pod a lot more, but I decided, hey, girl, take a couple days off. Go see your favorite team. Go to your favorite place, which is Las Vegas, Nevada. Got a couple, gambling credits. I played the slots, was doing my thing, but I really went there for the Raiders game. And I had a time. A time was had. First of all, Allegiant Stadium is beautiful. I have been there for other events, but not for a Raiders game. So this was my first Raiders home game, okay? Allegiant Stadium is beautiful there. It's my first time actually interacting with the Raiders crowd while I was there. 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you are a Raiders fan and you are truly Raider Nation, you need to get out there with the people who own Ground Zero. Okay? Them your people. I was out there chilling, okay? We got to yell obscenities at people. They were playing the Chicago Bears too, which was a perfect double dip for me because I could also interact with people from Chicago or people who are Chicago adjacent, as well as my Raider Nation. And when I tell you, I was sitting so close, I could see that the grass was painted. It was wonderful. It was a beautiful experience. I could see everything. I could hear everything. It was truthfully a great birthday. Now, I want to add one caveat. The Raiders needed to win. Last year, the Raiders won on my birthday, and that was the last game they won the entire season. Okay? That's not a flex. Not a flex. I was hoping we would continue to win. I thought I was the good luck charm, but I used all up the luck on that September 28th game again. Well, I think it was actually on the 29th last year, but this year's on 28th, day before my birthday. So, we were there. The game was going. It was vibes, everything. Drinks flowing. The tailgate was dope. All of it. The Raiders ended up playing really, really well. Offense was playing pretty decent. I'm getting to that. I know you like, who on the offense? I'm getting to that. So offense playing pretty decent. Defense for sure was playing decent. Max Crosby in person is a whole vibe. Okay, whole vibe. Everybody in the crowd going crazy. All that for Max. He was doing his thing out there. Special teams was even pretty good too into that blocked field goal, but that's not on them. That's on the Bears defense. Anyway, what I'm saying is the game was going great. Everybody was out there giving it 100%, but Geno Smith ruined everything. Everything. When I tell you, we were sitting there in the stadium seeing great plays go down. Ashton Jeanty finally went off in person. Okay, so Ashton Jeanty going crazy, scoring touchdowns. I mean, getting a decent amount of yards. And then Geno would just throw the ball and throw it away. And let's talk about interceptions, because a lot of people are like, pick six. All right, cool. Yes, sometimes the ball gets intercepted. But what Geno was doing was something completely different. See, when you watch an interception on TV, you think, oh, man, that was just good coverage. The receiver, he got beat. That's what you do. But when I was in person, when I was looking at the field, I noticed he was throwing to none of the people who were open. And that's why he's getting so many interceptions. Now I can put two and two together. It's that maybe he colorblind. Maybe he can't see the colors of the jersey. Maybe he don't know who on his team, because there were so many other people open that he didn't have to throw that many interceptions. He really didn't have to. So every time one came, it's like, Geno, 7 interceptions? We only been here a few weeks. This is insane. And honestly, I'm done with Geno Smith after that game. And not because he ruined my birthday. It was truly spectacular to watch 4 interceptions be thrown in a game. I've never seen maybe not even in a high school game, especially at that high level with those kind of receivers and those kind of DBs and all them. Man, it was truly phenomenal to see the Bears really step up and just catch that ball and be gone. Great game. Great game. So we need to go to a backup quarterback. And my thing too, and I know I keep talking about Shedeur Sanders. I know, but there are so many teams who are in terrible positions right now with the quarterback. Wouldn't you at least want to have a guy who can be entertaining and keep the fans there, give you a reason to come back? That's the biggest thing. And everybody's like, the Browns ain't gonna let him go. He sold all them jerseys. I want to see him play. He's exciting. You know, he's giving it his all. You know some kind of superstar play is going to happen. I'm disenchanted with everybody in the quarterback room. Everybody. So I'm ready for Aiden O'Connell. That's sad. Just imagine waking up and being like, oh, I want to see LZ. I want to see him play today. Nobody has said that. We've ended up with this dude. Go get Shedeur. He young. Who cares? We're losing. We want to be entertained. Them Raiders fans was on their phones. They was talking smack. They all was going to all the season ticket holder. I'm telling you, when the offense was out there, sometimes they was there, but once it got ugly and hairy, they just started going to the concession stand. We ordering beers. We going to get chicken strips. You know what I mean? Like, you want to at least be able to keep the fans in their seats and lulls in the game, and the crowd was just booing and just Geno is stinking up the place. And I know Pete Carroll wants to keep going with his dude. And last press conference from that game, I watched it on my phone after I went, because I ended up going back to the sports book to bet on the WNBA game. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But Pete was saying it was time for some accountability. And I think it's due. Time is up for accountability. Geno's in his, 13th season. Let's just do something different. Even if we're going to lose. We already losing. The way we losing is crazy. Max Crosby, Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, come on, man. We need something to work with that's at least more exciting. So that's my final on the Geno Smith thing. It's just like, dude, put in the backup quarterback. Also, where is Shedeur? I want to see him. I don't care who he play with or for at this point. I will follow whatever team, because I just want to see some young talent that I'm excited about, and I followed him in college like most of us. So that's why he's staying in the highlights, pantomiming words and being all funny and creative. Come on, man. We want that. I want to see him do that at Allegiant. I want to see him in the Raiders thing and go, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. But anyway, so I finished that game. Shouts out to the Raiders for just a beautiful facility. I got a hat. I got a shirt, a jersey, 18,000 square foot merch store inside of the arena. Huge, packed. Every Raiders gear you could imagine. They had blue jeans stuff for the car, stuff for the house. So I just want to go back shopping to that store, to be quite honest, because I ain't never seen some of that Raiders gear that was out there. Very exclusive. It was cold. So anyway, the game ends. I'm mad. I'm cussing out Bears fans on the Actually, I'm gonna show you this video. Check it out. All these Chicago Bears fans can take this win today, because it's going to be snowing in Chicago in 30 days. So go ahead, take the win. Little win here. Again, I like the fact that I can be funny with Chicago people. I am from Chicago, even though I'm a Raiders fan, so hilarious. Anyway, we get done with the game, and we go over to the sports book. I'm like, all right, cool. I want to just bet on the WNBA game. So all the friends left me and everything, because I'm betting on the game at this point. It's me. I done went from a football game to a basketball game. I'm sitting there. The game that I was watching, though, was Lynx Mercury, and I knew the Mercury was going to win. That's how that went. Because, again, I had been saying that if the Atlanta Dream and the Phoenix Mercury can continue to play how they would play, they would upset a team. Because everyone was looking for the Aces, the Lynx, the Liberty. They thought all of these people would be competitors. But, again, the best WNBA teams at the end of the season are the most healthy. The Phoenix Mercury have been able to keep it together with the addition of DeWanna Bonner and that chemistry that she built over time with Alyssa Thomas in Connecticut, as well as them being engaged. You know, that really added that extra flavor. Mack is playing well. West Bell's playing well. Satu is there. Kalia Copper. I'm like, this is a team that could show up and stun some people. Once Nafisa Collier went down and Cheryl Reeve was actually suspended that game, that's why I put my money on Phoenix, okay? I was sitting in the sports book and everybody was like, the Lynx are going to get it, because they're just looking at, there was some guys that would sit next to me. They looking at the rankings and the standings, and I was like, y'all know the coach is suspended and the player is her ankle rolled? I was like, what? They sitting there just watching the game, and it's like, you got to know the drama that go with it, because then it better helps to prepare you for your picks, Okay. And now that I'm talking about picks, let's go into my prize picks. You know, I only bet the over. Here are my fantasy Friday picks and it's prize picks. It's Flex Friday and it's for the finals. Let's go over it. First things first, how much am I betting? Of course, I got 5 on it. All right. And today is Flex Friday. For those of y'all who are not familiar with prize picks, fantasy picks, on Friday, they let you play flex, which means you could lose one of the lines, you could lose 2 of the lines, and as you lose 1 or 2, then the payout amount goes down. But there's also a payout boost right now. So I got the payout boost plus the flex because then I'm double covering myself, right? I'm getting more money if I'm right, but if I'm wrong, I don't lose all my money. That's a very simple, quick, easy way to do it. And you know I got that toxic positivity, so I'm always betting over. Prize Picks is really easy. You just get on the app and you say, do I think they're going to do less than this or more than this? Very simple, very easy. I was at that casino. I was pissed off that I couldn't do my Prize Picks. I had to go to the book. I'm like, look, all of these numbers, okay? I'm drunk. I don't have time to be doing mathematics and long division and bet the odds and the straight and the thing and the you got to go to the machine. I like using it on my cell phone. I can look at the picks whenever I want to look at the picks, which is what I just did really quickly before I hopped on here. And let's go over my picks. So first and foremost, A'ja Wilson, I got her as attempting over 20 field goals. She usually does that. A little step back, a little put back, any of those things, right? Field goals attempted, not made, attempted. I'm sure she's going to shoot that ball 20 times. She's the star player. Alyssa Thomas, I have her for over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I do this because Alyssa Thomas is a triple-double queen. I don't know which, but she might get 20 assists. I don't know. She might get 20 points. Don't care. She might get 20 rebounds. Not my problem. I'm covered across the board, all right? So that's why I did that. DeWanna Bonner, I have her for more than 5.5 rebounds. DeWanna is on the second string. She is taller than everybody else, and she does a decent job at getting rebounds for a putback and or pushing it up the court. So I'm hoping that DeWanna can show up tonight and score at least 6 rebounds for me on my fantasy picks. All right, Jackie Young, I have her for more than 3.5 points. More than 3 points for 3.5 quarters. So what this means is this is new on Prize Picks. I'm a explain it to you because I had to look it up myself. So I'm basically betting that for all 4 quarters, Jackie Young is going to hit more than 3.5 points. So I need her to have 4 points every single quarter. Now this is risky. And this is why I'm betting it on the flex, because there are some times where players will be hot in the first half and then not in the second half, and or vice versa, right? You might come out and be really dry, and then you go into the locker room and you're like, I got to step this up. I need to get myself together. So either way, Jackie Young is a scorer, and if she can get at least a 2 or a 3-pointer each quarter, which I believe she can, then I win that line. Kalia Copper, more than 1.5 3-pointers made in the whole game. She can hit 2 threes. I think they're going to use her for the kick out. Hopefully she's not doing a whole lot of driving and stuff, and she can lead that to Satu, DeWanna, Alyssa Thomas, that kind of thing. And they're going to use her on the wing. That's what I'm relying on, so that's why I picked that. Nalissa Smith, 1.5 free throws attempted. The reason that I picked that is because she gets a lot of shots around the rim that are putbacks. And what's happening when you putting it back? You going up, you shooting, and people are fouling you. So all I need her to do is just shoot 2 free throws. 2 free throws. 2 free throws. That's pretty easy. I think they're going to try to foul her. I think everybody, the level of play is raised. This is a finals. Everybody wants a ring. I hope I win my $300. I don't know what I'm going to do with the check, but I hope I win my $300. I got 5 on it. That's my fantasy picks of the day. Perfect segue to talk about the WNBA Finals. First of all, I'm going to just give you my prediction straight up front. I think that the Phoenix Mercury are going to steal a championship this year, and the Aces are going to be on some vengeance story next year to try to get back because they were so close and they are champions. Reason being, the Aces just had to fight the Indiana Fever. They should have closed that series out really fast because Indiana basically had all of their hardship players and then Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell went out the last game. She suffered an injury I had never even heard of. I didn't even know our bodies could just stop. Basically what happened was she ran herself, as she calls it, till the wheels fell off, but it was until her muscles just wouldn't support her body anymore. She has been carrying that team for too long. Okay, she should have never went back to the Indiana Fever. I know she was just trying to get a ring and Caitlin Clark, and she had already did so much back-breaking labor. But that is proof. Kelsey Mitchell, in all them years, I think she only missed like 5 games, and all the years she been there, she come to work every day. She work hard. She was the only person that cared about the Indiana Fever in between the Tamika Catchings and Caitlin Clark era there. So she deserves a break. She deserves a better team. The lockout or the CBA non-agreement, I shouldn't say lockout because we don't know if that's going to be there, but I'm teeing myself up for my next conversation. She probably going to end up somewhere else. She's a great player. It sucks that she went out with that injury, but she said that it's not technically an injury. She just needs to rest up and she'll be back fine. And I believe she's going to play in Unrivaled, which I'm so excited for, y'all, especially with this lockout. Women's basketball in January has completely revolutionized my life. I have no gaps in anything. I just a little bitty break off all summer, all winter. I'm chilling with the ladies. So that is amazing. How the hell did I even start talking about Kelsey? Oh, I was talking about the Aces. Okay. So the Aces needed to finish off the Indiana Fever much faster than they did, but the Indiana Fever made it a 5-game series. So the Las Vegas Aces have been fighting this whole time, including A'ja Wilson. Her and Aaliyah Boston have been battling it out on the block for 5 games straight, while the Phoenix Mercury 3-1 series. That little bit of extra break, including the rest days in between the games, actually is a good thing for them, because now their players are coming in a little bit more rested. If they can hit Vegas with the 2-0 punch, Vegas is kind of already in a deficit with energy. I am not saying that we should be betting against A'ja Wilson. I never suggest that, but I think that it's very real this year that the Phoenix Mercury could surprise the world and get a ring. So I'm betting my money on that. Let's talk about the players to look for and who I think will shine in the finals. The 2 players that I believe will be in contention for finals MVP on both sides. On Vegas, A'ja Wilson. For the Phoenix Mercury, Alyssa Thomas. Okay, so let's talk about the threats that I believe for those 2 first and foremost. A'ja Wilson and the Aces, she has brought them back from the dead. The way that they started out the season is definitely not how they finished it. They won like 14 games straight or something crazy like that. And that is very, very much so the season that A'ja Wilson is having and why she got that 4th MVP there. You can't stop her. There's no stopping A'ja Wilson. You just have to try to figure out ways to triage and slow her down and or ill-equip her players around her so that you can stop those things. Aaliyah Boston's physicality gave her a run for her money, though. I will say that, even though a lot of what Aaliyah was doing was dirty. Okay? Hooking that arm. Hey, I'm going to show y'all some videos on that later. But Aaliyah Boston, she kind of don't play fair. But against A'ja Wilson, I would cheat too. I would elbow to anywhere. As long as it was player safety and I wasn't trying to get caught, I would really try to use my body to be physical to battle against her because you're just not going to stop her. Alyssa Thomas, same thing. She a tank. I don't even know if you can't. Triple-double, you don't know what category she about to go crazy in. She could do 20 rebounds if she wanted to. She could do 20 assists if she wanted to, 20 points if she wanted to. All these things. And betting on Alyssa Thomas is a great thing if you're going on the Phoenix Mercury. So I got Alyssa Thomas being the finals MVP and Phoenix taking the whole thing. We also can talk about Jackie Young on the Aces, right? Jackie Young is someone who is going to score. You're not going to stop her from scoring. Indiana native, huge hooper. She's going to get the job done. Unless she has some games where she struggles and she's not shooting well, I expect Jackie Young to figure it out and be scoring double digits every night. Moving back over to the Phoenix Mercury, Satou Sabally, in that same vein, the unicorn. She has a lot of different ways that she can score. She's just not shooting the 3 ball. She's driving in. She's got nice size on her. She can finish through contact. So Satou Sabally is somebody else that you have to look at. Just for scoring, that 3-point, once it start hitting, it be hitting. And then Chelsea Gray on the other side. Point guard, she still finds a way to make it happen. And some games are a little bit worse than other games. She's had some ankle problems. I don't know if she's going to continue to be healthy because she rolled her ankle pretty bad against the Indiana Fever. We saw it turn sideways and get stepped on. She came back that game. I'm sure she felt like she got her foot ran over by a car the next day. But if she is fully rested, she knows she's going to play for her life and she can make it through all 7 games. I think Chelsea Gray is somebody else to look out for. Again, 7 games is new to the WNBA. We've been doing best of 5 for a while, so I'm excited to see what a 7-game series is like. Moving on to Cathy Englebert, the WNBA commissioner. She is under fire today. That's why I'm bringing it up today. She said a lot of different things. In Nafisa Collier's exit interview, we heard things that we had never heard from Cathy. My personal opinion about Cathy before I even heard this Nafisa Collier stuff, because I'm going to play it for you. Cathy is not good at business. She's not good at business, and she don't know how to talk to people, too. Because relationships are a huge part of it. She do stuff that's like, hey, whoa, sister, you're at the mercy of the players. Not that you can't make smart business decisions. You can't tell them the rules and the changes. She just don't listen and do the stuff her way. That's it. That's all. And also, I thought the WNBA would be much farther than it was by the time Caitlin Clark got here. But then even when Caitlin Clark got here, it seems like we still stagnant. She talking about some media deal she got. Girl, the players aren't happy. You about to have a lockout on your hands. But if you missed the whole Cathy Englebert debacle and all the drama, here's what Nafisa Collier of the Minnesota Lynx said in her exit interview.
Congratulate the Mercury for advancing to the finals. And I want to be clear, this conversation is not about winning or losing. It's about something much bigger. The real threat to our league isn't money. It isn't ratings or even missed calls or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office. Since I've been in the league, you've heard the constant concerns about officiating, and it has now reached levels of inconsistency that plague our sport and undermine the integrity in which it operates. Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing, but to also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. Year after year, the only thing that remains consistent is the lack of accountability from our leaders. Sorry, I had to walk here in my boot. I'm kind of out of breath. The league has a buzzword that they've rolled out as talking points for the CBA as to why they can't pay the players what we're worth. That word is sustainability. But what's truly unsustainable is keeping a good product on the floor while allowing officials to lose control of games. Fans see it every night. Coaches, both winning and losing, point it out every night in pregame and postgame media. Yet leadership just issues fines and looks the other way. They ignore the issues that everyone inside the game is begging to be fixed. That is negligence. At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Cathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us. The league believes it succeeds despite its players, not because of them. I have the privilege of watching my husband run a league where he has to balance 100 different things at once. I won't pretend the job is easy, but even with all of that on his plate, he always takes the time to reach out to players when he sees an injury, whether it's Unrivaled or even during the WNBA season. That is what leadership looks like. It's the human element. It's basic integrity, and it's the bare minimum any leader should embody. This year alone, I've gotten calls, texts, and well wishes from so many players across the league. Those moments remind me that sometimes there are things bigger than the results this game we play. But do you know who I haven't heard from? Cathy. Not one call, not one text. Instead, the only outreach has come from her number 2 telling my agent that she doesn't believe physical play is contributing to injuries. That is infuriating. And it's the perfect example of the tone-deaf, dismissive approach that our leaders always seem to take. I've finally grown tired. For too long, I have tried to have these conversations in private, but it's clear there is no intention of accepting there's a problem. The league has made it clear it isn't about innovation, it isn't about collaboration, it's about control and power. I've earned this platform and I've paid the price to get here, and now I have a responsibility to speak on behalf of the fans and everyone in this league that deserves better. Our leadership's answer to being held accountable is to suppress everyone's voices by handing out fines. I'm not concerned about a fine. I'm concerned about the future of our sport. At some point, everyone deserves to hear the truth from someone who I hope has earned the benefit of the doubt to fight for what is right and fair for our athletes and our fans. We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world. If I didn't know exactly what the job entailed, maybe I wouldn't feel this way. But unfortunately for them, I do. We serve a league that has shown they think championship coaches and Hall of Fame players are dispensable, and that's fine. It's professional sports. But I will not stand quietly by and allow different standards to be applied at the league level.
What Nafisa said was so powerful because it wasn't out of anger. It was out of literal understanding of the business, which is very problematic, and she said that in there. It would be different if I didn't understand what the job entailed, but unfortunately for them, I do. That is powerful. Earlier this year, I talked about how the WNBA was in trouble because the players had created a league, unrivaled, and they had figured out a way to pay the players more, even though a smaller amount of numbers. They have less teams. They're not an expansion kind of thing. It's off season. They never intended to compete with the league. They even asked the league to invest, to become an investor, and they said no. The WNBA has been trying to gain their popularity themselves, trying to get these deals, to get more people in, to be excited about the game, to expand the reach, all the things. And they've done not that. What happened was they got players like Nafisa Collier, like the Paige Beckers, like the Caitlin Clarks, like all of those people, right? Angel Reese, all those. You get these people with these huge followings and they come over to the game. And now those people are now tuned in every single game. Cathy, you had nothing to do with that. They actually helped you do your job. And instead of thanking them or coming to the negotiation table a little bit more humbly, you say that they should be on their hands and knees thanking you for some media deal that you got them. Why do you think the media wants to make a deal with you? So we can watch the Cathy show? No, the game has now grown in popularity due to the players doing their homework in and outside of the arena. But here you go again, trying to be the star of the show, trying to play God inside of the WNBA. Especially now that we know that Cathy got involved in the sale of the Connecticut Sun. She's now preferentially picking WNBA expansion cities for investments when, come to find out, there's investors all along. See, we've been told this narrative that nobody wanted to buy it. It wasn't valuable. And come to find out, there's tons of people who wanted to do the thing. They just never agreed to do the thing. They didn't want, they wanted control, like Nafisa Collier said. So just recently here, Unrivaled just announced that they have an expansion city. They're going to Philly as well. I really empower these players to lock out. Unless Cathy is changed immediately and there is someone brought to the bargaining table who can move things fast, I think there's no way we're not locking out next year. They can't even come to the table and feel like they're respected. And now to hear Cathy talking about Caitlin Clark, and she's going to find out what happens to other people who talk negatively about Caitlin Clark. As Angel Reese fans, they weren't even talking negatively. They just like Angel. And her fans feel like that's a slight. So I think that now that it's gone to this large platform, Nafisa Collier has stepped out on the ledge and made this statement. And I know she did it because she got injured. Her coach did the same thing the game before. She was fine with getting suspended. She was fine with not doing. They had pretty much just gave it up because the league officiating is so bad. So bad. I've complained about it. Everybody say, oh, the Sparks are losers. But when you go to a game and the people who are calling the game don't even look at the plays, and then everything is a jump ball, it's tough. And I was wondering, why is there no consistency in the calls? Turns out the WNBA doesn't even have dedicated refs. They pull refs from college. They pull refs from other professional, kind of leagues. They pull refs from G League. So you're not even having the same people who are familiar with the pace and cadence of the game. We all know that the WNBA and the NBA are played completely different, right? The guys are flopping and doing all of this. Why in the WNBA is everybody fighting? It's too rough. The officials are not calling anything. The players are starting to get frustrated and they're taking it out on each other. So I wholeheartedly stand with Napheesa Collier. Caitlin Clark just came out a couple days and also says she stands with Napheesa Collier. All Cathy had to say back to that was that it's unfortunate that Napheesa has taken the conversations out of context. I look forward to growing the game or something. Let me actually look, because I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie on a girl. Let me see what she said. Cathy said, I have the utmost respect for Napheesa Collier and for all the players in the WNBA. Together, we have all worked tirelessly to transform this league. My focus remains on ensuring a bright future for the players in the WNBA, including collaborating on how we can continue to elevate the game. I'm disheartened by how Napheesa characterized our conversations and league leadership. But even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver. Cathy, the commitment that you gave us is bad. It's bad commitment. It's bad. You should waver that commitment. Waver. Let it stop. We don't want it. It's not good, girl. You're not good at this job. I don't want her to be replaced by a man. Let me just say that. But get somebody else to do it. Is there anybody else available to run the front office of the WNBA? Cathy's unlikability is bleeding all over everybody. You're beefing with the dang on players as the commissioner. I don't like it. We're done with it. I'm sorry, Cathy. Thank you for tirelessly doing whatever you did. We need to move away from this lady, because if she is not going to have the players' health and safety as number one at the bare minimum, girl, we can't watch none of our favorite players because they all injured because you let the refs A-Town stomp everybody. You don't come in and say nothing. You say only the losers complain about the refs? Girl, everybody who at that game complained about the refs. Everybody. The media complained about the refs. The fans are complaining about the refs. You don't want to listen to the media, the fans, the players. You want to listen to you, and you need to go start your own company. And definitely not a basketball league, because you can't even figure out how to get all the games on different times during the season. That's what I would be working on as a commissioner, growing the reach so that fans can watch multiple games in a day instead of all of them coming on at 4 o'clock and forcing them to go to some app to watch them in DVR. Huh? That's just me. That's just one thing. I ain't even a player. I ain't even Napheesa Collier, and that's already inconveniencing me, and you can't even listen to that. Talking about a media deal. If all the games on WNBA app, why they all start at 4 o'clock? You ain't had no media deal. You was starting all the stupid games at the same. I'm tired of hearing it. We're tired of hearing it. The WNBA is popping now. The players have their own stuff. Angel Reese then made 6 figures off Me Bounce t-shirts, and she said her dream job don't pay her good. So we sick of it. Caitlin Clark don't deserve $50,000 for her first 3 years. $70,000 or whatever the rookie deal is. She don't. And she shouldn't have to go look for her $16 million elsewhere. I see why Caitlin Clark don't say nothing. They be saying, oh, what's your comment? No comment. They ain't even paying me enough to critically think about this job. I'm going to just go out there and shoot. She got to go. But anyway, y'all, there is a press conference after the game where she is going to be speaking to the public for the first time since the Napheesa Collier thing. I am hoping she is resigning. I hope she get up there and say, hey, I've done my best. Sounds like the players hate me. Everybody hate me. There's going to be no CBA. It sounds like I'm getting fired because there's going to be a lockout if I don't leave. Force Cathy out. And again, I am not a proponent for unemployment. I hope she finds another job somewhere else at some company that she can run into the ground and nobody notice. But in regards to basketball, Cathy, baby girl, you got to go. And you should leave. If you love the game so much, if you really about the advancement of the game, you would get out the way, because you're what's stopping everybody. The players have great ideas. You know how I know? Because Unrivaled is profitable and expanding to a second city in their second season. More players, more money, more endorsements. And you're sitting here telling the players they're garbage. They have the best ideas. Your ideas are bad. Sometimes you just got to say, hey, maybe the times have changed. Social media the tides have turned. Girl, retool yourself and go somewhere else. But I will be watching that press conference, sitting on the edge of my seats, and I hope all of y'all will be too. It is 3 p.m. right now on the East Coast, and I'm sorry, on the West Coast. I don't even know where I'm at. That's how tired I am from this quote unquote vacation. But But anyway, the game starts at 5. I'm going to be watching the game at 5 and going through that Cathy press conference, and I am going to give you my thoughts on social media. So if you are listening to this in audio, thank you first and foremost. If you're watching this in video, you're going to have to hop over to my social media. You should be following me on social media anyway. So if you are not following me and you are seeing this video by proxy or you are listening by proxy, go to any app, whatever your app is that you use. I don't care if it's YouTube, TikTok, Threads, whatever that platform is, and type in DJ Tricey Trice. That's at DJ TRICEY. It has been a great week. My birthday is here. I had a little bit of time off, so I'm about to get annoying again, okay? NFL season is going. The Lakers play their first game today. I am in full effect. Thank you so much for following me and listen to another episode of The Post Up. I go by the name of DJ Tricey Trice, and I'm posted up right here, running my mouth about sports. I'll see you on the next episode. All right, that's a wrap on The Post Up. I ran my mouth, said what I said, and now it's your turn. Drop a comment, share it, and come back tomorrow, because I'm not done talking. And make sure you follow me on social media at DJ Tricey Trice. That's at DJ TRICEY. I'll be posted up here, y'all.